Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? August 10th, Monday, August 10th. This is your daily financial news. And what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about company specific things, the economy, and yes, we will close with stimulus stuff. I am already tired of the stimulus conversations on this channel, so I assume you are as well. It does look like all the stimulus focused channels are going to now talk about when does the money show up. Let's try to be better. Let's try to work on things that will make us better, take personal responsibility, move forward. So on that end, I will be talking about some business related trends today. First off, Eastman Kodak. You might remember, was that 3 weeks ago, where seemingly out of nowhere, Kodak was given a $765 million loan to start to make pharmaceutical ingredients in America. That was a big deal. But I remember watching the CNBC interview with the CEO, and they showed a stock chart. And a day before the public announcement, Eastman Kodak shares traded 10 or 11x normal trading volume. So if I look at that and go, oop, somebody got data early, you got to know the SEC got involved. And lo and behold, the SEC is involved and the loan is on hold. Ouch. This hurts Eastman Kodak because it does sound like the loan may go bye-bye. But let's be clear, I thought that was a really good idea. It's a shame that some loose lips might sink ships, if you know what I mean, because it is very clear. Out of nowhere, Kodak stock trades 10 or 11x 24 hours before game-changing news. So that loan may go bye-bye. Kodak may stay a film company. We will see. The SEC is involved. People are going to go to jail. That's what I think is going to happen. Insider trading for sure. Next up, I don't know if you heard this, but it looks like there is another interested party in TikTok. Again, I assume there was when we talked about this a week or so ago. Frankly, TikTok wants there to be more than one bidder. It forces Microsoft's hands. I heard about Twitter, and actually I thought I heard about Netflix yesterday as well, being kind of interested plays. I don't know how Twitter gets it done. I think they're both a little bit too small money-wise, right? They're not going to be able to pay as much. But more importantly, I don't think they have the wherewithal or the engineers required, to move that code base from China to the U.S. I've heard some people talk about it's going to take a year. There's petabytes of data, which is a lot. So it's interesting. I think this is more of a ploy to make Microsoft increase their bid and sign something. But we will see what's going on. I saw Amazon and Simon Properties partner up. Simon Properties, again, the largest mall owner. It looks like Simon Properties is potentially going to lease space former Sears and J.C. Penney's, right, big box stores, to Amazon for Amazon to turn them into fulfillment centers. And that's almost cruel, in my opinion. Amazon is the one that killed, well, not really. Well, it had a hand in killing Sears and J.C. Penney's. They clearly neither kind of rotated to the internet fast enough, and they were dinosaurs. But Amazon helped extinguish them, and now Amazon's going to come back and take their stores. Well, you got to appreciate Simon Properties. It's got to be painful to look at big box stores and go, shoot, how are we going to rent all this space? Well, one of the most popular or best investments today is industrial, which, you turn a big box store or a couple into Amazon fulfillment centers. That's creating lemonade out of lemons for sure. So good on them. What else we got? I'm going to skip over the stimulus stuff to the end. Oh, McDonald's. I just saw some news. McDonald's fired their CEO seemingly a year ago for, let's just call it bad behavior. But now apparently they have found physical evidence photographic evidence of bad behavior of a physical nature. And now they're going to sue him to turn his firing from non-cause into cause and claw back significant money. Not a good look. Not a good look. Yeah, just some bad stuff. And I wonder, I mean, the stuff that you're reading about this CEO, I wonder if that was a culture at McDonald's at the highest level, kind of a frat culture, which is not something you would want from one of the largest companies on the planet. So good for them taking him to task. I hope they get their money. I hope he's never a CEO again for the behavior that he put out there. So pretty interesting. I do have a note to myself, and I'm just curious. Where is Biden? Where's Joe Biden? Right, he is going to be running for the highest office. I'm not seeing him out and about a lot. Is he really just hiding in his basement? Right, if he's going to run for the highest office, I want to make sure he's there physically and mentally. Make me feel good that you're going to be up to the task for 4 years. And this disappearing act doesn't leave someone warm and fuzzy. So I wonder, yeah, if I was one of his advisors, and you got to be careful, right? Because he's in the high risk category. I get it. But you could find ways to get some photo ops of him doing some stuff. So I did see one the other day of him riding a bike. But let's get out there. Let's have some conversations. Let's do some things. Because, yeah, I don't think hiding and hoping the current person in office does enough bad things that people don't vote for him. Not a great strategy. I think that was tried last time. So I don't know where he is at. So he's he's got to be more physically out there, I think, for people to realize that he is there or he's not there. But I just wonder what's going on. I did see a note from JP Morgan that I thought was interesting that I wanted to share. Their head of small and medium-sized business or stock, small and medium-sized stock. So let's first say this. He is talking his book, but he said, and I quote, "It has never been easier to make money in mid-cap." That caught my attention. Never been easier. So I dug in, and basically what his team is doing now and what he's recommending is finding stocks that are down 30%. They have a solid balance sheet. They're in a near-term trough, and their core business has no structural damage. Interesting, right? No stocks were mentioned in the article, just kind of their lens. I think at some point there will be a rotation. We now have 5 stocks making up 25% of the indices. So as we get closer to the end of this, there will be a rotation, and it makes perfect sense that companies like this that really haven't been structurally impaired, have the balance sheet to get through the next 6 months, will survive and survive quite well. So I thought that was interesting. Nikola, we've talked about a couple of times on this channel. This is the company that's making that electric pickup truck. It looks like they got a solid order. They got a solid order from, I think it was Waste Management. Basically, 2,500 trucks and chassis because they are looking to go green, right? Go zero emissions, with the ability to raise it to 5,000. So, for all of us, myself included, that we're going, how can a non-revenue company be trading at these values? Well, now they're starting to put some points on the board. To be clear, 2,500 orders is not 2,500 deliveries, but hey, 2,500 orders is more than zero. So I think they deserve at least acknowledgement that, hey, they're off zero. So good on them. And then I saw MGM Resorts pop this morning, 20%. I'm like, how'd that happen? It looks like Barry Diller's company is coming in and investing capital upwards of 11%. They're taking an 11% stake. And the reason I brought this one up is people are starting to shop in very distressed assets. Can you imagine something more distressed than MGM Resorts, right? Casinos around the world. So who knows where the bottom is? But Barry Diller and his hedge fund is putting up significant capital to take an 11% stake. They are specifically focused on opening a casino in Japan based on the article that I read. So again, Barry's, I don't think anybody ever calls the bottom, but he's definitely saying cheap enough. We're going to take a shot. So I thought that was interesting. And then just more of a red flag about Hong Kong and what China is doing there. There is a media tycoon named Jimmy Lai, Lai. He has long been a not a fan of China. And lo and behold, with all the new rules brought into Hong Kong, he was arrested yesterday. Yeah, that's not cool. That shows you what is going on in in Hong Kong is not good. And for me, with a wife from Taiwan, there's constant thought about, with all the world chaos going on, does China come knocking on Taiwan's door next? That is a real concern in my family. So we are watching Hong Kong because it's important to us, and I share with you. But that's not good, right? Taking somebody out that's against you and just arresting them. That's you would hope that's not okay. And then just to get back to the stimulus, just to close on that, saw Secretary Mnuchin talk on CNBC this morning. I think there's a couple of things that are clear. I think Mnuchin wants a deal, but also Mnuchin is very clear that one of the red lines is we are not going to send $1 trillion to the states. They talked about New York and California a bunch, and Mnuchin grew up in New York in the 70s, and he's like, man, they're in trouble. People are leaving. It's their problem. That plenty of bad decisions were made. And I think he's right. I think California and New York have been run into the ground. This pandemic has exposed huge fissures in their economy that have been mishandled by current legislation. And we need to vote them all out. I live in California and my daughter's in New York, so I say this as someone who can vote in those areas. The people that have been running California and New York need to go away, including the Speaker of the House and in her entire family. The governor of California in New York need to go away. They have run these great states who have been spoiled with tax revenue for too long, too many handouts, and they are going to suffer inconsequential pain going forward. So that seems to be a red line. And if the Speaker of the House, Nancy, keeps that on the table, there will not be a deal done. I think the best option going forward, and one I would hope for, is individual deals, just like the executive orders, right? The executive orders was, I'm going to do this thing and this thing and this thing. So Nancy, if you want food for kids, do a bill for kids. If you want to do, a bill for PPP, do a bill for PPP. Stop hoping you can take all these things that everybody wants and lop in $1 trillion to bail out your failed mistakes. You did it. Your friends did it. Now you have to pay the price. And frankly, it's time for you to go, in my opinion. So at the end of the day, lots of business news going on today. That Kodak thing, somebody's going to jail. I think that actually hurts us, right? Because what they were going to do at Kodak, because they really are chemistry. They have the patents on chemistry, right? So it made sense. That McDonald's, that's going to be entertaining to watch. See if those pictures ever come out in public. Yeah, and then of course the stimulus. When, how? I think there's still a lot of rancor around how the $400 gets paid to people. I think there's significant concern about delay. So again, Nancy, do the right thing. Let's do a bill for $400, or shoot, push it to 500. I don't care. Make it come out of the right bucket so everybody's taken care of. Take care of people. Stop trying to bail out your mistakes. Take care, everyone. Bye.